This is your marketing news update for the week of January 28th, 2026. We've got three major marketing stories for you this week. ChatGPT made a move that changes where ads show up. LinkedIn created an ad product that makes B2B advertising predictable for the first time. And AirOps published research that's going to force you to rethink everything about your brand visibility. After you've heard all these stories, you'll see what's really happening. One of them means you might be spending your budget in the wrong place. Another gives you guaranteed placement with proven lift you've never seen before. And the third, it explains why 85% of your brand visibility has nothing to do with your website or blog anymore. Let's go. Our first story, ChatGPT ads go live. OpenAI announced on January 16th that they've been testing ads in ChatGPT. And this isn't a soft launch. It's real. Ads start showing up in the next few weeks at the bottom of ChatGPT responses for free and Go tier users. But here's what makes this fundamentally different. These aren't search ads where someone types project management software into Google. These are conversation ads. Someone's having a 10-minute back and forth with ChatGPT about how to manage their remote team. ChatGPT walks them through options, compares features, explains trade-offs. And at the bottom of these answers, there's your ad, clearly labeled contextually relevant. You're not interrupting. You're showing up in the consideration phase while they're still figuring out what they need. The scale here is pretty big. ChatGPT has 800 million users. That's more than LinkedIn, more than Twitter, almost as many as TikTok. And according to the information, early beta advertisers are committing $1 million minimum budgets to test this. Now, before you think that's not for me, here's the interesting part. OpenAI is billing on impressions, not clicks. Why does this matter? Because research from DGen, an AI marketing agency, found that 65% of ChatGPT users don't have immediate purchase intent. They're researching, exploring, trying to understand categories. If you're optimizing for clicks, that's terrible. But if you're optimizing for consideration or brand awareness, that's exactly where you want to be. Think about it this way. When someone searches best CRM on Google, they're already 70% of the way to a decision. When someone asks ChatGPT, what should I look for in a CRM? They're at 20%. And 20% is where brands get built into consideration sets. Here's a real example. Let's say you're Notion competing with Asana and Monday.com. Someone asks, I need a tool to manage projects, but also documentation. What are my options? ChatGPT walks them through the landscape. And at the bottom, sponsored by Notion, there's a clear explanation of why their all-in-one approach solves that exact problem. You just became part of that buyer's mental shortlist. OpenAI says ads won't influence the organic answers. Conversations stay private. Data won't be sold. But let's be real. Once money enters the equation, incentives shift. Even with labels, the line between helpful and sponsored gets fuzzy. That said, if you're selling B2B software, SaaS, or anything with long consideration cycle, ignoring this channel is probably a mistake. Because when ChatGPT becomes the first stop in the buyer journey, you either show up or you're invisible. And worth mentioning that with the ChatGPT move, it won't be long before Google, with its even bigger audience and where you already likely have an ad account, offers this option as well. Here's the big picture. Being invisible in AI answers isn't about clicks. It's about brand awareness, which brings us to LinkedIn, our second marketing story this week. LinkedIn reserved ads deliver 101% mid-funnel lift. LinkedIn just solved one of B2B advertising's biggest headaches, auction unpredictability. You know the drill. You set up your budget, you bid on placement, you cross your fingers the black box marketing algorithm likes your bid, and hope you actually show up when it matters. LinkedIn just killed that uncertainty with reserved ads. Here's how it works. You pay a fixed rate. You pick your day or your date range, and your ad will appear in the first slot of the LinkedIn feed. Guaranteed, no auction, no competing bids. And you know exactly when it runs. You know exactly where it appears. For product launches, event announcements, or anything with a critical time window, this is a game changer. But here's the part that made me stop: the performance numbers. Audience first exposed to reserved ads show up at 101% higher engagement in mid-funnel activities. That's 101%. That means if you normally get 50 demo requests from a campaign, you're now getting 100. On top of that, LinkedIn reports that reserved ads deliver 75% higher dwell time and 88% higher view through rates. And this one's my favorite. 99% of forecast impressions are delivered. Most campaigns underdeliver. You plan for 100K impressions, you get 70K. Reserve ads hit 99%. Think about what that means for budget planning. Let's say you're launching a new B2B analysis platform and you're going up against Tableau or Looker. You've got a launch event on February 15th. Old approach, you'd run standard sponsored content, bid high, and pray you get enough visibility on launch day. The new approach, you lock in reserved ads for February 15th through the 17th. You know you'll be the first ad every target account sees when they open LinkedIn in these 3 days. No guessing, no auction drama. And according to LinkedIn data, the top of the feed placement doesn't just generate awareness. It warms people up for everything that comes after. That 101% mid-funnel lift, that's people moving from never heard of you to, let me check out a demo because you showed up first. Now, the obvious question: what's it cost? LinkedIn hasn't published pricing, but it's premium placement, so expect premium rates. If you're already spending 20 to 50K a month on LinkedIn, this is worth reallocating budget to test it out, because the alternative is continuing to play the auction game and hoping you win on days that actually matter. Here's what makes this interesting. ChatGPT ads get you into consideration conversations. LinkedIn reserved ads get you into guaranteed visibility with decision makers. Obviously, both of these are paid channels. And what we're about to talk about, the third story, flips the whole script. Because new research just proved that the majority of your brand visibility doesn't come from anything you pay for or publish yourself. Our third marketing story this week: 85% of your brand mentions come from third-party sources. This new data changes a lot. AirOps, a content marketing software company, just dropped one of the most important studies on AI visibility that I think we'll see this year. They analyzed 21,000 brand mentions across ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity. And what they found destroys the last 20 years of SEO best practices. When someone asks an AI system, what's the best email marketing tool, or which CRM should I use? 85% of the time that AI mentions your brand, it's citing third-party sources, not your website, not your blog, not your carefully optimized product pages. Reddit, YouTube, LinkedIn, industry roundups, comparison sites. Other people talking about you. Only about 15% of brand mentions come from your domains of your control. Let me put it another way. All the SEO work you're doing on your own site, that's 15% of your AI visibility, it turns out. The other 85%, that's what strangers are saying about you. And here's the part that should terrify or excite you, depending on which third-party validation you have. According to the study, brands are 6.5 times more likely to be cited through external content than their own domains. 6.5 times. That means if you're MailChimp and someone asks Perplexity for email tool recommendations, the AI is way more likely to cite a G2 review, a Reddit thread, or a YouTube comparison video than your own homepage. Now, this gets even more specific. AirOps tested which external signals correlated most strongly with AI visibility. YouTube mentions 0.737 correlation, highest of everything they tested. Brand web mentions in general, 0.709. Branded search volume, the thing SEOs have obsessed over forever, just 0.403. Here's what it means in practice. If you're Webflow and you want to show up when someone asks ChatGPT about website builders, you need Flux Academy doing YouTube tutorials. You need designers talking about you on Twitter. You need case studies on Smashing Magazine. Your own blog post, 10 reasons to use Webflow, that's barely moving the needle as much anymore. Here's a real scenario. 2 companies, same category, same product quality. Company A has an immaculate website, perfect technical SEO, 90 page speed score, structured data everywhere. Company B has a decent website, but they're everywhere else. Reddit threads, YouTube reviews, mentioned in 20 industry roundups, active community discussions. Someone asked ChatGPT, which tool should I use for X? Company B shows up, company A doesn't. Not because their website is worse, but because AI systems trust external validation more than self-promotion. Now, this isn't new. We've been doing this sort of thing in SEO for a long time, and we know those external signals had juice. But now with AI has 10x that. And get this, the study also found that brands earning both a mention and a citation are 40% more likely to show up repeatedly across multiple AI queries. That means if ChatGPT cites you once, it's more likely to cite you again. Your momentum compounds. In today's new age of AI, mentions equal visibility. 3 stories this week, 1 theme. OpenAI is testing ChatGPT ads, launching in weeks, not months. This creates a brand new consideration channel, which your ad shows up mid-conversation, not mid-search. 800 million users. Build on impressions. 65% of users don't have immediate purchase intent, which means this is about getting in the shortlist early. LinkedIn reserved ads give you guaranteed top feed placement with 0 auction risk. The numbers, 101% mid-funnel lift, 99% impression accuracy, 75% higher dwell time. If you're launching anytime in Q1, this eliminates the guessing game. And AirOps just proved what we all needed to hear. 85% of your AI visibility comes from what other people say about you, not your website. Brands are 6.5% more likely to be cited through third-party content. YouTube mentions correlate strongest at 0.737. The theme, visibility doesn't live in your domain anymore. It lives in conversations on Reddit, YouTube reviews, LinkedIn posts, and industry blogs. AI systems trust strangers more than they trust you now. Look, the playbook just changed. So here's 5 marketing moves to make this week. First, spend 30 minutes this week tracking your AI visibility. Go to Gemini, Perplexity, and ChatGPT. Ask 10 buyer questions your customers would ask. Best, your category. Which product should I use? Top tools for your use case. Screenshot the results. Where do you show up? Where don't you show up? What's the baseline? Second, audit where your brand is mentioned externally right now. Search your brand, cite Reddit, or your brand, cite YouTube, your brand, cite LinkedIn. Read what people actually say. If there's radio silence, there's your problem. You can fix it. If there's negative sentiment, that's a bigger problem. Fix that before you optimize anything else. Third, if you're running LinkedIn campaigns right now, reach out to your rep and get pricing on reserved ads. Compare the CPM to your current auction costs. If you got a product launch, webinar, or event in Q1, lock in a top feed placement for those dates. Test it against standard sponsored content, and then track mid-funnel lift. Fourth, invest $2,000 to $5,000 this quarter in third-party validation. That's 3 to 5 YouTube creator partnerships, or 10 contributed articles to industry blogs, or a PR push to get into one major industry roundup. Don't spend 100% of your content budget on your own blog. Shift 30 or more percent to external channels. Fifth, start a Reddit and LinkedIn engagement plan. Not posting promotional content, actually participating, answering questions, share insights, be useful. Spend 20 minutes a day for 90 days. The AI systems tracking those conversations will start associating your brand with expertise. That's how you earn citations. The AI shift is real, and it's happening fast. With a few marketing moves like we've mentioned in this episode, your marketing strategy can win. Your marketing move.